Joining us now, Ohio Republican Congressman and Chairman of the House Judiciary Committee, Jim Jordan. First, Mr. Chairman, this battle with Iran and Israel, I would consider you a pro-Israel foreign policy realist, which sometimes requires threading the needle. Do you think that Israel and Iran should accede to President Trump's demands to stop their military campaigns against one another?
Yeah, I hope there's, a ceasefire, as the president said, but I'd strongly support what the president did. I think, Israeli intelligence, American intelligence all said they were getting close. IAEA said they were getting close. Iran is, they've said death to Israel, death to America. They're bad. The leaders in that country are bad, and state sponsor of terrorism, all that. So I totally support what the president did. And the precision in the execution of this exercise, I thought was, the deception, frankly, Matt, was, I think, amazing as well. That no one knew this, that no one leaked anything prior to the bombing. I thought was pretty impressive as well. So God bless President Trump and our military who executed this.
Do you think the United States should pursue regime change in Iran?
I think the Iranian people, and I think that's kind of what the president, I forget when he did the tweet earlier this week or maybe over the weekend, I can't remember, but I think that's kind of what he was getting to is the Iranian people, if they will step up and do, we're not against the Iranian people, we're against the bad guys who run that country and who've run it now since '79. So that's the thing. And look, the world is safer. You know this. The world is safer. We're all safer when Iran doesn't have nuclear capability. So again, God bless Israel for the groundwork they laid, the work then that President Trump and our military did. I think it's good for everybody. And I do think there's a special relationship between the state of Israel and the United States. It's cultural, it's religious, it's Judeo-Christian ethic, it's strategic. There's all kinds of, I think, common ties there. So I do believe in that, and so I was glad to see this happen.
The one big beautiful bill awaits action in the United States Senate. Some of the holdouts are your and my best friends over there. Ron Johnson, Rick Scott, Rand Paul, Josh Hawley, Mike Lee. These are the people you've talked to regularly to fashion a lot of the good policy that comes out of the Judiciary Committee. I was wondering, are you talking to these senators or are you leaving that negotiation to like the America's version of the House of Lords?
Yeah, it's funny you say that because we have a kind of a weekly dinner when we're in session where conservative House members meet with some of the senators, and that's going to happen again this week. So we talk on a regular basis. We'll see. I think this bill is good, and I always say, it's a good bill because the left hates it. And the left hates it because the bill actually empowers families, empowers Americans versus empowering government. It cuts taxes for moms and dads, which is a good thing. It says for hardworking people, we're not going to tax tips. It says if you're an able-bodied adult getting in our welfare system, getting taxpayer money, well, guess what? You're going to have to work now. It says we're going to make sure we have enough resources to keep the border secure, that President Trump has accomplished, our border security. And it, in our tax code, builds in school choice, gives parents the choice of where they're going to send their son or daughter to school to get the best education. That is all about empowering people, about empowering families, which is a good thing, and that's why the left doesn't like it. So I think overall this is a good bill. I wish we were cutting more and saving more, but we are saving some money. But most importantly, we're doing those things that empower people.
When the legislation comes back to the House, it likely won't have the SALT accommodations, allowing the high tax jurisdictions and the people that live there to deduct state and local taxes from their federal taxes.
Yeah.
But of course, there are those members of the House that come from those high tax jurisdictions. Where do you think the sweet spot is on this issue?
And my guess is it's probably fairly close to the position when it left the House. I think it's a $40,000 number. My guess is it's probably pretty close to that. There could probably be some give there, but we'll see. Again, we gotta cobble together the votes with a handful of seat majority in the House and a 3-seat majority in the Senate. So you gotta kind of work together. But any compromise we reach among ourselves is 1,000 times better than where the left wants to take the country. We see how crazy the left is. We saw it in New York yesterday with who was elected in the Democrat primary. We see every position the left take, whether it's defunding the police, whether it's not having a border like we had under Biden, whether it's men against women in sports. I mean, on and on we go, the crazy positions of the left. So let's figure out how we can come together on SALT and other issues and stop the left from taking us where they want to take the country.
We are worried that judges are harming President Trump's agenda as you all work so hard to take the country in that right direction. I want to congratulate you on passing Representative Issa's bill to stop nationwide injunctions. Does that bill have any chance of passing the Senate? And if not, is there anything in the Senate bill now on reconciliation that you would point our viewers to say we're going to hold the judiciary accountable?
Not really. One of the things we had in there that was going to be helpful in the reconciliation package, didn't meet the Byrd requirement and these kind of arcane rules that the Senate has that they go through with the parliamentarian. But the legislation, I think, may have a chance simply because there are Democrats who say, the 677 federal district judges issuing injunctions, that shouldn't imply nationwide. It should apply just to the parties in the case, just in that respective jurisdiction. Even Justice Kagan on the Supreme Court has talked about this issue in the past. So let's hope that we can get that they'll bring that up in the Senate. Maybe 7 Democrats will actually see the light and do the right thing. After all, they got a justice on the Supreme Court who understands what needs to happen. So let's hope so. But we had a hearing yesterday on the budgets for the judiciary, their overall budget, and they're asking for a 9% increase, and a little bit of that's going to security, which we're all in favor of in this crazy world we live in, protecting judges. But a lot of it isn't. So maybe that's you know this as well as anyone. The power of the purse, the oversight responsibility, and legislation. Those are the 3 levers you have in the legislative branch. We're using all 3 when it comes to this judge issue, and so we had that hearing yesterday talking about their budgets and what we need to do.
Big news out of the FTC today. The chairman, Andrew Ferguson, had an announcement that the Omnicom merger with Interpublic Group would proceed, but without the advertising blacklisting that has hurt so many in conservative media. What's your reaction to the chairman's announcement?
No, I think this is good. And you know this because you helped us on this when we did the whole investigation into GARM. And Omnicom used to be a part of GARM. And GARM, I think, someone said should be called HARM because it was the Global Alliance for Responsible Media. But there was these people, these advertising colluding and not advertising on conservative sites and platforms. That it was all that, and this company was part of that. And so the FTC said, no, you can have the merger, but quit doing that. Quit playing this political game and this collusion game that we saw with GARM. And frankly, here's the good news, too, from that investigation we did last Congress. GARM's out of business. And that's a good thing for the country, I think a good thing for the First Amendment, a good thing for just business in general. So, this is positive.
House Judiciary Chairman Jim Jordan, Republican from Ohio, thanks for coming on the program and sharing all the great work you guys are doing.
And Matt, congratulations. That's great news.
Thank you.
Good to see you.
I appreciate it.